Just a stone's throw from historic Monument Circle in downtown Indianapolis. We are at the beautiful Lucas Oil Stadium. It's the first of 6 games here on Super Wildcard Weekend, and we are underway on EA Sports. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage here by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
Richardson looking to throw. That one finds Pierce right side.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
But just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Now it's Richardson. That is caught. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
From the shotgun, Richardson. To the right side, complete to Taylor. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 7 yards there and a first down.
Good running right there. And this is a man who was a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances. And he picks up nice yardage on that one.
Back to Taylor on first down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Now Richardson. Buying time to his left. And he stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
Thanks to his effort, they now have a big choice to make here. He just ran them into field goal range with that one, so here come the choices. Do they kick it here, or do they trust him to make another big play and possibly get a first down?
So the flag is for roughing the kicker, a big 15-yard penalty.
And I'm not sure that was the time to go all out after the kicker. Plenty of time left in this game.
Now it's 1st and 10 after a costly penalty there on 4th down. Up the middle, here's Taylor. And they're knocking on the door now. As a good run there, going to take this to about the 10-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st. Richardson looking to throw this. Being chased, and he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Anthony Richardson. 3-yard touchdown run. And the Colts will strike first here, this wild card matchup. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll start this drive out on the ground, and he'll be brought down here at the 28. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
So a nice run there, and I have to think a strong running game in the playoffs, maybe even more critical than the regular season. And if you go by the numbers, the man they have running it here, he was the best in the NFL.
And since he led the league in rushing yards, I think it means he's going to see the ball a lot in this game, too, because that's what they're built like. That's what they're built around. So I think the offensive line, the tight end, the wide receivers, everyone is coming together, wanting him to get the ball and get it often, and they want to carve some holes out there for him.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. In motion right, that's Harrison.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle.
And he'll manage to break a tackle and get this forward for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
A snap to Lawrence as he taps this forward.
And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
Now they did get a little gain on this play, but all in all, a nice job defensively against the touch pass. They were able to string it out towards the sideline and never let him get the corner and turn it upfield for a bigger chunk of yardage.
Here's 3rd and 6. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Jags 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47.
They go play action with Lawrence.
That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Now a give inside for Falk. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
They'll go right back to the ground with Falk. And he pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards, second down.
Not a big run, not an explosive run, but they've held the ball for plenty of plays on this drive. They're just trying to impose their will on the defense right now.
Balled it to 26, second and 7.
They'll give to Falk up the middle. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
That's quickly out to Harrison.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
First and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back.
Lawrence on the sneak.
And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On the give, here's Falk. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That second down play nets a -4.
And now third and goal coming up. The loss on second down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder. And they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
On third and goal, Lawrence.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on fourth and goal. And his kick here is good.
So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And that last touchdown drive they had very balanced. How key is that balance?
It's huge because most of the time when we talk about balance is run, pass, almost 50-50. But most of the times when you talk to offensive coaches, they say balance is we do what we want when we want to. And that means that they're ahead of the defense, keeping them on their heels.
Yeah, they imposed their will on that last drive.
Richardson off the play fake.
And he'll throw this one away. But I don't think he was out of the pocket. No, here comes the flag.
Yeah, he hadn't gotten far enough away from the pocket to throw that football away, and that draws the flag.
Yeah, the old tackle box, right? Get outside of each tackle, and then you can go ahead and throw it away, and you're in good shape. But if you're back there in the pocket, You got to make sure of what you're doing.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose it down on the grounding call.
Here's Richardson to throw. Lets one go downfield for Pierce.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete.
And he's going to be out of bounds inside the 25-yard line.
A big play there for Andy. 65 yards.
Oh, my goodness. I'll tell you what. 3rd down. All you're thinking is, what can we do to keep this drive going to get enough yardage to move the sticks? You're certainly not thinking about taking this one almost the length of the field, but that's exactly what happens here. What a play, and what a change of fortunes.
Now the first carry here for the running back. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. You don't see that a ton, do you, with the cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle?
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
He's got his target. That's complete. And the Colts are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Yeah, Richardson back to throw it.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted.
And the Jaguars are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line. The defense looked geared up to stop the run, but obviously, Charles, they were ready for the pass, too.
Yeah, they were hoping they could catch everyone crashing and playing the run, but that was a very ill-advised throw right there. The opportunity, lost.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. They needed some breathing room. He gave it to them. 11 yards and a 1st down.
Well, when you're a road team in the playoffs, when you're a wild card, what's the one thing you need to be able to do to stay in football games? Run the football. And that's an excellent job right there of identifying where to go and picking up good yardage.
Right back to him on 1st down.
And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there on 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Play action. It's Lawrence.
He's going to let this one go deep. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Here's Lawrence to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. His 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a 1st down.
A nice grab there for a guy coming off a terrific season, one that saw him have over 100 catches.
And when you have that many catches, that means you're a full part of the offense. And let's face it, he's been as good as anyone in the NFL this year. So it figures he's going to play a big role in whether his team can advance in the playoffs.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down. On the handoff, this is Falk. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be 3rd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right here.
Here's Lawrence. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Jaguars first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. 2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. From the gun, it's Lawrence.
And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Now a 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, here's the give to Hubbard.
And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Thomas.
And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up.
Now Lawrence.
Looking long for Thomas. And this one is incomplete.
They geared up and took the deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area, and that one winds up incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now Lawrence to throw.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. It was the safety blitz that ultimately did the job, and they're going to credit him with a sack. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And with decent starting field position, they're maybe only a couple completions away from field goal range.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete.
Richardson working from the gun.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Jaguars 6.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Both teams trying to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. From a yard or two deep, here comes the return. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Well, out of the locker rooms here they come. Their first drive of the third quarter. And, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one set up to be a very entertaining second half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's trailing, right? Sometimes you're discouraged by how much you're down, but in this case, this is a tight ball game, so there's a sense of optimism here. I think they went into half and looked at their play sheet and said, these are the plays we really like. What do you say we use them to start the second half and get us going?
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 26 and a first down. Boy, an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
And what they're always hoping on that type of a play, that they can get to the end of the line and have a chance to turn it upfield as he did there. That means they controlled the blocking and took care of the defensive end of the outside linebacker to give him that lane.
And I guess I need to clarify. I said getting their wideouts involved in the run game, but, of course, that was actually a pass as he popped it forward. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue, not able to make...
And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. 25 yards to the house. And the Jaguars have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half. Lawrence and the Jags offense staying out there. They'll go for 2 here. They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it. So a sack on a 2-point try. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And now a stoppage, and it looks like we have a Colt who was shaken up on that last play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Back to throw. Here's Richardson. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 45 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Richardson out of the shotgun. He finds his man complete. It's Chandler. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Richardson looking to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Mitchell. So he stopped for no gain, and that'll make it second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. This is intercepted. And the Jags are going to take over at their own 41. How big is that penalty? Wipe out the INT.
You'd hate to be the teammate that caused that penalty and wiped out the interception. You got to face that guy in the locker room. Not a lot of fun for you, and you hurt your squad.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. They give to Taylor out of the gun. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Richardson. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
So they'll accept that penalty, and that'll, of course, move the football up the field. From the gun, it's Taylor. Oh, great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run.
Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side, the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
This carry, despite the extra effort, will be stopped short of the 10.
Brought down on the play by the linebacker, Christian Harris. Now 2nd and 9. And they'll go to the air now with Richardson.
Eluding the pressure right. A good decision in the end. The pull and run gets him 9 yards and a first.
Partner just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
2nd down and 3 with right around 3 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. 3's all around.
Off the option, that's complete. Touchdown, Colts!
Devin Duvernay
from 3 yards out.
And the Colts have retaken a 3rd quarter lead.
Had the option there, read it perfectly, and an easy little touchdown toss.
And it has to be a sharp throw, too, because of where they are on the field. The extra traffic, things are condensed near the goal line. Good route by the receiver as well.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead is now 2. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
They go play action now. Lawrence.
He'll air it out deep for Thomas.
And that, nearly picked off. It would have been a great time for their first interception of the game. Instead, it's 2nd down.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped. But what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, and ends up spilling it for a loss.
Now Lawrence.
They've got his man complete. A great pickup there, 35 yards, and obviously the first down to go along with it.
That is the exact right play call against that defense. So a hat tip to the offensive play caller because he won that part of the chess match. But give credit to his players as well. They won the execution part of it.
And he's going to get this inside the 30.
79 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. Lawrence. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
It's complete. He finds Falk here. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Needed 13. They got 14 on third down.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. 1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Here's 2nd and 1 now from the 7.
Now Thomas will come in motion right.
And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. Oh, this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
And the Jags are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing.
And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Jaguars answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a 4th quarter lead.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is up to 5. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42. Great return.
And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. If they want to advance in this divisional round, look, obviously the time is now. Trailing here in the 4th as they go to work on a crucial drive, 1st and 10.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's third down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And this a very important drive leading in the 4th quarter of this wild card game. But this one far from over
as they start out here first down.
And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be second down. Now a give left side to Fall. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up the key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. And the Jaguars send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Fielded at the 43. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now it's Richardson.
Dancing to his left. And he'll be down at the 46. So they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
From the shotgun, Richardson. That is caught.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a 1st down.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch him drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed, too.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Down right around the 25.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor.
That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
This one, an absolute must. It's 4th and 4. Fourth down, desperation time. Here's Richardson. That's taken in by Duvernay.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Now a handoff to Chandler.
Oh, no, he lost the football. Unfortunately, he's able to recover himself, but the clock's still rolling here.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right.
And I believe the referee's been buzzed. Yeah, they want to take another look at this call, and it's certainly a big one here late in a tight game. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Here's Richardson. That's complete to Pierce. And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Is this a hold, or did they rough the quarterback? Now 1st and goal. Off the option, here's Taylor.
And he stopped immediately there.
Partner, you got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here.
Richardson.
That is caught at the 7-yard line. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow, wow. Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
They'll let Taylor try and run.
And he'll get into the end zone. So now a field goal would only tie as they've upped their lead to 3.
Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away.
And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25.
This is 1st and 10. Here's Lawrence. Into the hands of Ingram.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
Oh, and how important could that play be in determining a winner here? That moves the ball all the way to the other side of the field, and now you're one completion away from at least getting into field goal range to tie things up. But with the time remaining, they still got a shot to win this as well.
Two timeouts still available in this final minute. It's 1st and 10 now. Lawrence.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock.
Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Lawrence.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow, wow.
Extra point right down the middle, and that will make this a 4-point game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Here's 1st down. Richardson to throw it. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
Probably time for 2 more shots, and ideally, they'd like to get to midfield or so they have a chance at a Hail Mary on the final play.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now. Now Richardson.
Incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Richardson looking to throw it. He's going to let it fly. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. They said beginning of the season they wanted to get past the wild card round. Well, they just got past the wild card round.
How about that, being able to put the big check marks up in the locker room, right? Get to the wild card game. Check. Got that done. Win a wild card game. Big check. Now you've got to go ahead and set your sights higher. There is a bigger prize out there, and they